Hey everybody, welcome to the creepy tunnel under the treatment facility. Today we're talking about Rosswood episode 3, and I'm going to start with a couple of things I forgot from my first episode, their second. One thing I noticed was when they were on the street in the city at night, the camera kind of lingered on a window, and there seemed to be like a figure in the window, and it felt pretty motivated, and I'm excited about it. We don't have any answers, but it's exciting. I'm excited about it. I think it's cool. I'll drop it in here. I don't know if it is their hotel or if it's like a hospital of some sort, or if how it factors in, or if it factors in at all. I don't know. We're putting a pin in it. And then the second thing I forgot to mention, which is like drove me nuts. I think it was because I did the entire thing and had to do it again. So I forgot to mention it. At a certain point, they find one of like their old tapes and they're like, huh.
Look, I don't know how I saw this.
Oh, no way.
It's is it? Yeah, it's a mini DV tape, which I think is what we shot on before.
This might be one of them.
Who knows? I wish I had a way to play it, but I don't. Otherwise, I would take it.
Cool.
And toss it. And I'm like, so mad. Not mad, but like, I want to see what's on there. But it was very funny. So they're lost in the woods. They go back. They're like, let's just sleep here for now until morning. And they go to sleep in the creepy space that they lost time in. And in the middle of the night, Alex gets up and does like a little solo journey. And he walks down a hallway that is, the exact hallway that Tim takes Jay down when he's showing him the annex for the first time. It's pretty cool. It lines up pretty nicely. It's really cool. I like it, and it is very spooky. We see that the operator is watching. We get a little buzz from the operator, and it's spooky and fun. It's really, really spooky and fun. They wake up the next day, and it's still like nighttime out. I'm having really hard. And this is interesting to me. I'm having a really hard time with the timeline because it's nighttime, and I think that is like intentional and actually a very cool choice, because it's very disorienting, and like it's disorienting for them. And yeah, so they get up and they try to make it to the car in the morning, and they're walking to the car and they can't get to the car. As they walk in a straight line, they end up back at the annex, and they focus, they look at it, they walk away, they turn around, and there it is again. So they're stuck in a pocket dimension. They're in a localized reality warp. So they're in one spot and cannot leave. That they're just they gotta stay. They're stuck. They start walking around. One tiny thing that was interesting to me is that like sometimes a time loop or a temporal loop will be used to signify the refusal to call, like like in the hero's journey, it's the refusal of the call to adventure. Yeah, I kind of thought that I don't know if it's not that deep, but it is a very cool concept of them just trying to get away and like refusing the call to adventure, but also like, you can't. Go adventure, boys. Go adventure, my friends. There's an awful, like, mild hum. He just turns the camera back to like a very dark hallway, and there's a mild, like, unnerving buzz underneath. And it's like just that much. That's the thing, man. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. I'm going to talk about acting, and I'm sorry, and you can skip to the next chapter if you want to. But when I teach, and when I've been taught, like there's this one exercise that I did in school where it was like it was just called do less, right? So it's like you had to just sit and pretend that you were like in a doctor's office waiting room, and people would be like, and all this crap. And it's like all this stuff. And it's like, do less, right? The teacher would just say, do less. And when I taught it, I would say, do less, do less, do less, do less. And it's so uncomfortable to do less. It's so uncomfortable to just sit and be yourself and exist while people watch you. It's so uncomfortable. But from the audience perspective, you sitting there as a person, you are so fascinating. You are the story, and like you are enough. And so the less and less and less you do, the more the small things that you do, the movements that you make, the more that they mean. And I feel like this series is such a huge example of that, of just like the tiniest hum, just 2 seconds passing by of something where it's like, it's just enough. It's just a tiny bit, and it like gets you. And it's, anyway, I love him. I love him. I love him. That's fine. I promise I won't talk about acting school. I don't promise that. I don't promise that at all. The hospital it's a total maze. It is a total maze, and it looks so different than it did 16 years ago. All of the tiles from the walls are gone. And it's hard to sort of figure out. I mean, it's hard to figure out where you're going. I sat down and tried to watch a couple of these to sort of like map it out. And I looked for maps and I just couldn't find anything, which I think is another part of making everything extremely disorienting. So they end up in like a control room where Jace has been in a very important way. So I think it's pretty clear to me that their memories have been altered in some way. I think especially since it's just the two guys working together, like their memories have been like, but in very unique ways too, because they very specifically remember moments at the hospital, at the annex. They remember moments. They remember getting chased off. They remember filming things there.
You had Brian standing right here against what was a wall. And you had him sitting here looking all pensive, and you shot it back through here.
I didn't recognize it.
Yeah.
Since everything's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, you had him leaning right there.
What I want you to do is just come up and lean against this door. Okay. Like that? Yep. And just kind of lean your head up against it and keep your head down. I'm going to do a few shots of this.
But they don't remember, like, I don't think they ever remember seeing the operator. So I'm just very curious what they think about then seeing him on camera. Alex, we get a monologue from Alex, a rant from Alex. Jay says something like, "Hey, I'm scared and I don't want to be here." And Alex loses it. And we kind of get his motivation, which I appreciated. It seems like he has a very sad life. He works at a call center and does not have much of a community, doesn't have a support system like Jay does. Jay has, a good job and a partner. And so it really feels like Alex is motivated by like, this is going to be his thing. This is going to give him purpose. This is going to make him feel like he exists. So I appreciated that. I do feel a little bit like his motivation is circumstantial. And if I were to direct, I would say that our motivations are not circumstantial. Our motivations are emotional based on our circumstances. So even if someone is like logical, like you still have an emotion. So it's not that like you don't like your life and you want a better one. It's that you're desperate or you're scared or you're sad, right? You're clawing at something. So that's kind of what I wanted to see. But he was great. He's great. He's looking good. Don't come for me. It kind of hits. All right, I'm not. And speaking of like motivations, I think one of my big questions, I have a couple of big questions. I have a lot of big questions, but one of my big questions is just about the operator. Like I understand he stalks them, he drains their energy, he is he's cruel, he's angry. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if he's cruel. I don't know if he's angry. I don't know if he can help it. Like, I don't know what the operator gets from what he does to people and what he does with it. So that's something that I would like answered, is like, I mean, I understand if he's just going to be he's just this terror machine that just hurts. If he's just like the embodiment of pain. But I think I want maybe just a little, I would like to know a little bit more. I'm okay not knowing more. I'm okay without a lot of background. It's just a question I have. Yeah, and I also like, it seems like they do get out at some point, because in the first episode, whoever's uploading found these tapes in their hotel room. So they get back to the hotel somehow. So I guess we'll see that coming up. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say anything about the original series that hasn't already been said by 1,000 amazing fans over the past 16 years. Like, it's been plunged. The depths have been plunged of this series, and yet people are still talking about it, which is really cool. I just joined like 3 Discords today about it, so people are still talking. One tiny thing though is that the hum. So when it comes to like that, the hum, like the crackle I was talking about that last episode, the distortion, it's the sound distortion that we hear when the operator is around, is non-diegetic. So like we hear it, but they don't hear it in the moment, but they do hear it when they watch the tape later, which means that it is diegetic. So it's, I think, technically transdiegetic. If anybody out there knows anything about film, let me know. I don't know, it's a tiny thing, but I think it's very cool because it literally took this long for me to be like, oh, we hear that, but they don't. But then they do, because it exists in the world, but it only exists on the physical ephemera of like the tape. I think that is it for me this time. I'm liking this. I think the most fun, like, watching this casually is fun. Watching it very actively and like researching things and going back to the original series and combing through things and looking at the background is super fun and a needed distraction from the horrors. Thanks so much to everybody for watching this far and listening to me talk. If you feel like it, please subscribe. I would love it. I'm trying to get to 2,100 by the time I get married, which is a month from now. So I think that's just like 50 more, which is, I don't know if I'm gonna get that. That's asking kind of a lot, but I would love to hit that goal if I could, and drop a like if you don't mind, or dislike it if you don't. And honestly, I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say or what you guys think of it. That's all. You give me that tape. I can play that tape. I have a camcorder. I've never fired it up. I was gifted it, and it's mine. I should fire it up. If anybody out here knows how to, I'll figure it out. Do they still make those tapes? We'll find out on the next episode of Creepy Dolls in Creepy Places.